The Imperium hasn't ended yet. Greetings everyone, I am Sister Lilia and welcome to my armory. So, today we're taking a look at Imperium magazine issues 79 and 80. And the Primarch that came within them. Now, or comes within them. Feel free to make double entendres if you want. I mean, a lot of us like the Yvrain fan theory. But yes, he comes with 2 head options and 1 pose. I'll put him on a turntable in a moment, but the magazine split him between 2 issues. And funny story, there was a supply line issue that meant that I didn't end up getting issue 79 for quite some time. It was like several months before issue 79 arrived, but I got issue 80. So, like, I had his head, his backpack topper, and I think his flaming sword. It was random. Now, I'll get issue 80 out of the way first. Issue 8, because it's the one that I have the least to talk about on. So, issue 80 for painting him, and it did mention it in 79, suggests that you build him in sub-assemblies so as to make it easier to paint him. I fully endorse that suggestion. That is a good way to do things. As to if I'm going to follow this painting guide, we'll see. But yes, because he's such a detail-heavy model, there is a long painting section that basically eats up the entire thing. We also have what I believe is a 9th edition datasheet because this magazine didn't come out during 10th. Now we have a short mission around the Dolmen Gate and Necron fortification, which the Necrons seek to defend. I mean, it's theirs. And there was a little bit of lore, but I believe that's more mentioned in the previous issue. See, there's not really much to talk about with that issue because it's mostly his painting guide. Which, hey, all credit to them. They gave us a decent painting guide for him. As to if I choose to use it, that'll be another thing. So on here we get a breakdown of who he is, some lore around him and his war gear. We get one of their character sheets for him. Yeah, you're not changing his name. You're not changing his weapon. We get some lore around him. Also, we get some more of the war in the War for Metallica, or the war that becomes the War for Metallica, and explains how Typhus gets a whole Nurgle army onto Forge World Metallica. Sucks to be Forge World Metallica. Mechanicus can't seemingly hold ground this decade. Also, we do get a short kind of story mission section thing on a rogue trader, which apparently is the 5th one in this magazine. I would not mind getting the other 4, because rogue traders are actually a really interesting bunch, and there is now a video game for them. So yeah, we have the chunk of a assembly guide, all two double-sided pages worth, and we have the mission. We have the lore relating to that mission in the previous one, and a mission. Not much of a mission, and a highlight of what comes in the next, comes in the following 10 issues. Or following 9 issues, actually. Because, yeah, they were dense with models. I didn't keep the magazine with that one, which I probably should have. Or at least should have read it. Because I ended up giving that issue to a mate of mine who collects Necrons, and I did review that one. And gave the model to my mate who collects Necrons. One of these days I'll get around to replacing the head on that model. I've done reviews on basically everything from here across. But yeah, that's kind of the magazine side of this out of the way. Probably should have done this earlier in the year, but yeah. Now I'll put Guilliman on a turntable and we'll start talking about it. And so we have Guilliman. Now, as I said, I've got him in sub-assemblies, so a few parts here and there will come off. But otherwise, Guilliman is an interesting design. It's very embellished in terms of his armour. He's got quite a lot of design, quite a lot of detail over just his armour plates. And the way the model went together actually was really interesting, because it actually you build up the substructure first, and then you actually put the armour over it in a way that I feel like goes together better than Imperial Knights. But just put more in the middle. So yeah, his heavy bolter and feet are an interesting setup. The Emperor's sword is neat. I prefer him with the helmet on as opposed to just being bareheaded. Like, I can stick the head on the thing and move it closer, but like the head went together in multiple parts so as to have the little laurel go around his face, but you actually might find it easier when painting it to paint the parts of the head first and then assemble it, and then go over whatever overspill of paint you have. Kind of wishing I did that, because that will would have made things easier. So I can see myself having a bit of trouble with primer, but yeah, like, let's just. So if we look at the backpack, we've got a whole lot of interesting details on the back, and you can full on assemble this so that it just kind of loosely attaches together. Like, part of me was tempted to, not build Guilliman up with those on there just so I could use them, but I think I might keep him as he is. Taking the backpack off lets you have a bit more of a look at his armour. And yeah, the Emperor sword kind of, like, let's just look at the back. We've got all these armour parts and such, and a lot of this is reminiscent, like the back plate there is very reminiscent of the Cataphrons from the Mechanicus range. The armour is of course reminiscent of the Primaris range, which would come out 3 or 4 months later, as this model was released at, I believe, end of February, if I remember correctly, and or was it in March? And then the new edition was announced. So yeah, we have one triumphant character. So far I have 3 characters from 2 triumphants. Currently just need to get call to complete the first one, and I don't have either Cypher or Grandmaster, what's his name? I think it's Voldus. But yeah, in terms of scale, who have I got that I can stick next to him? Like, in terms of scale, here's how he scales with the Space Marine Terminator from Black Reach era, rather than the new ones. Here's how he scales with the Primaris Marine, and comically different scale. Here's how he scales with the damaged Metal Terminator Captain. I am glad they updated that design for the new through plastic range, and I think and then they updated it again last year. Here we have what was once my conversion built Gabriel Angelos, until many interesting choices happened and he gradually lost his arms. Although I think he was originally a different ranked captain, just different named captain, / non-named. But yeah, Guilliman is an interesting one. I mean, a logistical savant, like, bro probably has copies. Bro is great at working out supply lines and logistics. It's how the Indomitus Crusade managed to do so damn well. And like, I'm going to say it now, if you want proper lore on him, go and watch Pancreas No Works. He did a pretty good Guilliman lore video. Certainly did a better job of it than I can. But at the same time, I'll just say Guilliman is a decent character. As for the sculpt, it's decent. I'm probably going to change around what he's mounted on, but then I have ideas for what I'm going to do for his base and a few others that I'll talk about next year if I haven't already. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, I can't say to get this issue or not because, well, you can't, I don't think, without paying a fortune, and it's honestly probably cheaper to just, you know, buy Guilliman than to try and find the issue. That being said, if you want Guilliman, I don't think he's worth the full price. That's my opinion towards most Warhammer stuff, though. Just the pricing these days is absurd. But other than that, it's a decent model. If you're wanting a Primarch for to lead your Space Marines, there's Guilliman, and there's the Lion. I don't have the Lion, and it will probably take him being part of a partswork magazine at this point for me to get him. And the next one I don't think has him in it. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I will share more in future, and I hope you enjoyed. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you don't see any more of my content until the new year, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and a Happy New Year to you all. May the holiday season treat you right.